talk to you about a lot of things on this show. We want to ask you about Bill Cosby because obviously you were close with him, you worked with him. Tomorrow night there's going to be a big Dateline special where a lot of the accusers are coming forward.
27 of them talking.
Yeah, and what's been your reaction to this entire thing?
First of all, it's like shock, and especially with somebody, and when somebody's like, dang, could I have seen this somewhere? Could I have picked it up somewhere?
Did you miss something?
So, you're like, do you miss something? And then, but also at the same time, if this has happened to women, it's wrong as hell. But if it hasn't happened, cause when they say, okay, this one they said, well, he said he used drugs for women. I said, no, I was around the 80s. I remember a lot of people used drugs for women. A lot of people were using drugs as favors and everything else. So I think when you love somebody, it's hard. It's hard to process. Mm-hmm. It's hard to process. And not just was he, and forget being an entertainer, what he did. Mm-hmm. He changed TV, he changed things for black people. He donated money to black colleges. I said,
I guess the turning point, and there were so many people that were supporting him out there. I mean, full on. But then even some of those have rescinded that because they started, you know how they say where there's smoke, there's fire?
Yes.
It was so many women with the exact same story.
Right.
That's the part that I think when you talk about hard to process.
Man, it's killing me. It's killing me. And I know they come to me and they come to Malcolm. They come to everybody working on the show because I think if they get one of us to turn, they got what they're looking for. I said, well, you know what? I never saw it, so I can't comment until this whole thing plays out. I mean, when everything plays out.
Have you talked to him at all?
I have. And it's not a conversation where we really talk about this.
So that doesn't even come up
It doesn't come up because I'm trying to figure it out. And if it is, to lose all that. When I say lose that, forget money. Yeah. To lose
the
what
legacy
he stood for. I mean, even forget the comedy.
Does he sound shaken at all? Like, does he sound bothered by it? He just sounds completely normal.
That's what's thrown about because it doesn't.
He just sounds like nothing's.
But no, it got me. A woman on stage hollered at me and said, "Where was your daughter?" I said, "I'm glad you brought that up. Where were the men? Because if that had been my daughter and that had happened, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now." Yeah. So did none of them have fathers or brothers or sons or boyfriend?
I think they were afraid to talk.
How you can't? You know what?
Which is an even deeper conversation.
It's such a shaming. But even if you didn't talk about it, it did eventually come out when people were accusing him 10, 15 years ago, and no dude punched, no dude showed up. One girl was young and she said, well, he ended up paying for my college and my master's. So your dad was okay with him paying. Okay, if all this went down, they were okay with the education?
Right. Well, maybe the dad didn't know. Who knows?
You know what? I'll tell you something. You're paying for stuff. And dad did know eventually, not just now. The dad did know eventually 7 years ago, 8 years ago. At some point, the dad boyfriends, they've talked about this. Some of the women have come after him before. So dad boyfriends, fathers, husbands did know. And I'm looking, where are these men? Well, I mean, I see the panel. When all the women come out and said, but dudes have to stand. If this happened, where are the dudes at?
Will you watch the special tomorrow?
I even know, but I'm going to watch it.
Okay.
I will watch it.